Yo, now sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we make assumptions that are wrong. And sometimes we do have to eat our words and admit when something is actually legitimately good. This is to be one of those occasions. Now, as I'm sure most people in the geek community will know, there are quite a lot of good well, I assume, when I say good, never mind. There are a lot of comic book movies due to come out in the next year, in 2017. And to be honest, there were quite a lot of them I plan to actually go and see. With movies such as Wonder Woman, Justice League, Thor Ragnarok, which I'll admit I wasn't down for at the time, but I'm starting to warm to the idea too. There's also Spider-Man Homecoming and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The one superhero movie, though, that I felt I probably wouldn't see was Logan. And there was one basic reason to that. It wasn't that I didn't think the movie looked good. I thought the movie looked excellent. The one reason, though, that I thought I probably wouldn't see it was I hadn't seen the two other solo Wolverine movies, X-Men Origins Wolverine and The Wolverine. Now, once again, I didn't particularly see those movies, not because I didn't want to see them, but I don't know, to me at the time, they just came at a weird time in my life, and I didn't see them. So I felt if I hadn't seen those two in cinemas, then I probably wouldn't see Logan. And if I did get around to seeing it, I probably would see it on DVD or something. But yesterday, a family member asked if we had a bit of time, so they asked whether we wanted to go and see Logan, and I thought, why not? A trip to the cinema, that's usually fun. So we went, sat down, and we saw Logan, and I'll be honest, I loved it. I mean, the movie is Hugh Jackman's last turn as Wolverine and Patrick Stewart's last go as Professor X. And they picked a good one to bow out on. I mean, once again, Wolverine on screen is just brilliant to see. Even if this is a solo movie and it's mainly based upon him, Hugh Jackman did a phenomenal job. I mean, every single thing. I mean, I personally haven't read the original comic book that this was supposedly based upon. I've read the synopsis for it, and like every comic book movie that shares its title with an existing comic, it's got very little to do with it, but that probably wasn't their fault. But yeah, this was just beautiful. The main premise of it, Logan's regenerative abilities are slowly failing, and he has to look after an elderly Professor X who is kind of suffering attacks of some kind that basically cause him to lose control of his mental abilities. And while all this is going on, he has to take it at the bequest of a nurse that he meets. He has to take in a girl named Laura, or she's otherwise known X-23, and get her to a space in North Dakota. I think it's either North or South Dakota, where she'll be safe. Subsequently, a whole road trip goes on. Friends are made, enemies are drawn, and yeah, I can't honestly describe the plot that much, but like I said, it was beautiful. And if this was to be Hugh Jackman's last go as Wolverine, I think he picked a perfect one to go out on. It kind of wraps up everything, gives us a really heartbreaking moment at the very end, and it's still classic Wolverine. It's still the stuff you want to see. And while I didn't think that it would be much my speed, I actually really loved it. I mean, that's what really I have to eat my words about. I didn't plan to see it. I thought, it's probably one that I can skip. But I did see it, and I really enjoyed it. And I'd advise you, anyone out there, if you haven't seen it, then I just give it a try. It was a really good film. Well, that's what I really to say about it is. I mean, one of the things I'll have to do in the next few weeks or so is I may actually have to buy the Old Man Logan comic and just look through to see if there is anything in there that may link back. There probably won't be. I mean, it didn't happen with Civil War. It happens with very few of them, but it was a good movie, and I like to see how how good the comic is if the movie was that good. Logan. See it in theatres while you can.